love and trust with you. We feel like by the end of Saturday, we're in a relationship with you. We're going out. We've changed our Facebook status.
Yeah.
And on Sunday, we watched that crumble as people literally boo us when we come out on stage.
My favorite part is like you come out on stage and the heckling. It's not just the booing. It's the, get out of the way! You're blocking the view of the empty stage that at one point will hold Jared and Jensen.
I don't like your face, old man.
You suck. Suck it. Screw you, you jerk. And by the way, that's just robbing me backstage.
Just going for a donut.
But right now, we still have your heart and your hands and your hope and your dreams. We still have them. We are still connected. And we're going to savor that until you kick us to the curb for the tall, handsome ones. We're used to it. We're used to being used and abused, ridden hard and put up wet. That's our job here, kids.
Right.
That's what we're here for.
Put it on our tombstone.
Yeah, ridden hard, and next to Rob, my tombstone, put up
away
wet. Oh, I can't wait for Scout to make that T-shirt. Okay, here we go, everybody. We got to do something right now. It is the thing that makes our convention better than every other convention out there. The thing that you're going to go to some convention for some show and go, oh, this kind of blows. I went to a Supernatural convention, so I thought conventions were fun, so I'm going to go to this convention for this show. And you know what? It's kind of boring. I'll tell you why. 2 words. Loudon Swain. We have a rock band on stage that makes this thing a show stem to stern. Let's say good morning to the boys in the band. On the drums, Mr. Stephen Norton. On the bass guitar, a man who was brave enough to admit that he has no family members in this town, which makes it the only town in the United States without its own Borja, Robot Michael Borja. On the guitar, a man who says he's married and loves his children, but he's really here to destroy you. I'm so sorry. He can't help it. Talent pours from his very being, and it seeps into your clothing, and you can't wash it out. There's no Febreze to protect you from the majesty and the mayhem that is Mr. Billy Moran. Great, now I'm covered in it. And here to mop up the musical mess, frontman lyricist, lyricist poet, and a man who's wearing my shirt, Rob Benedict!
Yeah! Woo! Oh! I got to know.
Welcome Saturday. Robbie, I say we dismiss with the chit-chat and just start this thing, shall we?
Let's do it.
Shall we make this Saturday start to matter right freaking now?
Yeah.
Great, we do that with 3 simple words. 3 simple words gets the weekend started. If you know it, you'll join me. Band, you know it, you'll join me. Let's do this. And Charlotte, if you don't know, you will learn and you will never forget, because this is what happens when you say these 3 words. All hail Satan! Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mark Pellegrino! Charlotte! Sir? I was in our hotel, which is a different hotel, and there was a gal got off the elevator on my floor with her boyfriend, and she was She couldn't breathe. She was like clinging to the wall. She's like, this is the best birthday ever. This is so great. Oh my God. It's like, I know, sweetie. I couldn't have arranged a better birthday for you. This is fantastic. I know. Oh my God. And just out of curiosity, I'm like, what happened? She's like, I just saw Mark Pellegrino.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
She literally was having a conniption fit.
And then was she like, and you're what's his face?
No.
She didn't recognize you?
No, she said, but thank you for asking, kindly old man. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Pellegrino.
Thanks, guys. How are you? Am I the first panel? I love being the first. Thank you. We're panel virgins today. But not for long. You guys are going to have a good weekend, I have a feeling. Have I ever been to Charlotte? I think I've been to the airport twice on my way to Wilmington. You guys like Wilmington? Wilmington's kind of a cool little town. I hate flying into Wilmington, though, because you get that puddle jumper, and in the summertime, there's that weird weather that feels really tornado-y. And the last time I flew into Wilmington, it was for a show called Revolution. And, really? Awesome. And we had some of that weird tornado weather, and we were coming in hot to the runway, and the cloud cover was really low, and we were about sideways, which I think is not the way you're supposed to land an airplane. And when we broke the cloud cover, I swear to God I could touch the top of the trees with my hand. That was terrifying. I hate landing in Wilmington. Anyway, it looks like we have, is that a line? So we have Q&A. You ask questions and I pretend to answer them. Who wants to go first? That side does? No, they were more enthusiastic. You guys are still asleep.
Hi.
So I'm going to go this way. I'm so sorry. I'm going to get a bad reputation. Right? I already have a bad reputation. And I just can't stop. I'm kidding. I'm going over here because they were the ones that were. I have to reward the enthusiasm. It's too early in the morning for that. What time is it? Yeah, but that's like 8 o'clock my time. I was up late last night watching Unreal, which is now my new favorite show. Do you like it, Unreal? Have you seen it? Come on, man. Bye. You guys sure know how to talk to a fella. What's up?
Hi, Mark.
How are you?
Doing?
How are you?
Hey. So last year I drove 4 hours. This year it's only 3. So
Okay.
I'm very excited about that. So my question is, when you were in The Closer for 8, 9 episodes, what was your favorite moment to film?
It's funny when I get asked questions like that, because I usually forget the episode immediately after I'm done with it. And that, I don't know if that's unusual, an effect of early onset Alzheimer's, or that, it's what actors mostly do because they have so much material they have to keep crammed in their head. But I hate to say this because it sounds weird, but I liked shooting the entirety of that. I mean, there were scenes where I got to best, booger, and those scenes were always always fun to watch him get turned up and twisted up and beaten down. So I think if one of my favorite scenes was a scene in the office with everybody. All the principals were there in the room, and we were just sort of outfoxing the competition. I think they had come with a document that Kira Sedgwick's character was supposed to sign, and I'm like, don't do it. I throw it over my shoulder, and the whole story takes a nice twist from that point on. That was a really fun scene to do because I'm in the room with everybody, and a future Academy Award winner, and it was I had a lot of lawyerly dialogue, some of which I was actually reading on a little page in front of me. I just pasted my lines there, and if you see me looking down, it's because I'm trying to pick up the thought, because it was just too much crazy dialogue for me to learn. I don't see how people do procedurals. Do you guys like procedurals at all? What the they have to say so much lame dialogue, just so much stuff that nobody would ever say. I don't see how they can do it. It's impossible. Anyway, does that answer your question? Right? The conference scene. I'm going to stick with that. I'm sorry, guys.
Hi.
How are you?
Terrified.
What's up?
You're awesome. You're amazing.
Aw. Thank you. So are you.
My question is...
We got you.
What was your favorite line to say as Lucifer?
Awesome. Good job. Once again, once I read a script, it's gone. And you know, I've seen almost all the episodes of Supernatural, and I don't know how you guys do it. I don't know how you keep the episodes, separated in your own minds, because it's all a blur to me now. How many episodes have they done? 250? I mean, like, massive number of episodes. More than that, right? I can't remember any of the storylines anymore. But I do remember snapping necks and cashing checks. It's what I do. when Lucifer's trying to sell his capabilities to Sam. And I think one of the reasons I remember that line is because I had to do some ADR for it. You know, ADR is dialogue replacement. You go into a studio and, you watch the scene play out in front of you, and if they have, sound problems for any of the millions of reasons they have sound problems, you have to replace that dialogue so that it's clean, so you hear a nice, clean line. And I did a joke version of that line, and that's why I remember it, because I sort of did this version of it that matched perfectly, and I was hoping they would put it on special features or bloopers or outtakes. Did they ever do that? Where I'm like, snapping necks and cashing checks is what I do! I think the sound engineer thought I was serious, and he's like, are you going to do it that way? Because it doesn't sound very Lucifer. Do you have a favorite line?
I liked the long time no spooning.
Long time no spooning. That does bring up a visual, doesn't it? Poor Sam. Hey, come here. Let me give you a hug for your courage under fire. Good job. Wow. It takes a lot of courage to get up in front of people, right? Yeah? What's up?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm not too bad. I'm a little tired.
That's fair. That's fair.
Bloodied but unbowed.
What?
What? Do you want to see my new ring?
What did he say? I cannot understand you. I'm sorry.
You know why? Because of the echo in here.
Yeah,
Now you know what I feel most of the time.
Yeah.
My ring. You want to see my new ring?
Oh, yeah.
See?
Yeah, it's shiny.
Come here. I'll show you. So when I was in Denver last week at the convention, I have a really good friend who's a jeweler, and he was wearing this ring.
Oh, that's sick.
Isn't it sick? Sick is good, right? Sick. Okay. It's not like that's making you nauseous. You actually think it's cool. What's your question?
So I was just wondering if you could provide us a bit of color on what you would do to get into character for Lucifer.
Cool. Copy that. I don't have to do anything to get into character. Yeah. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
You know what? It's totally fine. You do you, dude. You're freaking awesome.
Wow. I'm getting a self-esteem shot here. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you.
Thank you, though.
Bye. So my ring has a saying on it. Freedom or death. It's a little intense for 11 o'clock in the morning, wouldn't you say? I still thought it was cool. What's up?
Hi.
Hey.
As well as being a Supernatural fan, I am a huge Rick Springfield fan.
I'm sorry.
And his performance as Lucifer actually frightened me a little.
Frightened me as well.
As the true OG Lucifer, I wanted to know what you thought of his performance.
He should have watched the show. Yeah, I read an interview with him where he said he did not watch the show, and he thought that was a virtue because he didn't want to get any ideas in his head about how to play Lucifer. Well, he had ideas in his head. They were just wrong. I'm in so much trouble. I think I would say that if he were here. I mean, I'm not one to criticize another actor most of the time. But I had a very personal feeling about that casting. You want me to tell you the inside story?
Yes.
Promise not to tell anybody else? This isn't streaming or anything, is it? God, thank God, I trust you. You wouldn't fuck with me, right? I wouldn't fuck with you. Don't fuck with me. So, what? So I've developed a relationship with the folks at Supernatural over the years, right? I've been working on the show on and off since, was it 2008, 2009? I can't even remember. That's what I thought. Thank you for telling me how long I've been working on something. So when you develop a relationship like that, you sort of come to that table with certain expectations. Is that wrong? Right? Okay. Like honesty, forthrightness. I mean, these are some things that you hope when you've developed a relationship with somebody that are virtues that are practiced between the two of you. Well, I think I might have gotten. I think I was scrolling through Twitter looking for a fight. I don't do that, and I Stop being so serious. I saw an Entertainment Weekly announcement, because Comic-Con was happening, that Lucifer had been recast. I was like, what the fuck? So I read through it was an article that they'd made the announcement at Comic-Con. Nobody told me, right? That Lucifer had been recast with Rick Springfield. So I'm like, fuck this. I'm going to do something about this. So I urged any discontentment I found on social media. I urged it gently. And it sort of took off and had a life of its own. And it just so happened about 2 days after this, I'm miserable. Not because, it got recast, but because people I thought I had a relationship with didn't tell me in advance. So I thought I was getting the boot, and it was a Hollywood boot, on top of it. Anybody who's ever been in Hollywood for a time knows what that means. And so two or 3 days later, I get a call for an audition for The Exorcist, the TV show. And it's at Ulrich Dawson, and they're the people who cast Supernatural. And I'm sitting in the waiting room, sort of concentrating on my lines and sort of concentrating on taking the world out. And Ulrich calls me in, or Dawson calls me into the office. He's like, Mark, I want you to know Rick isn't Lucifer. I didn't expect that to be a topic of conversation. So I was like, what? And he said, yeah, look. And he showed me an email that I wasn't supposed to see from Andrew Dabb, the showrunner, that sort of laid out the storyline for that season. And I was like, well, you could have told me. I started a fight. I thought you guys were giving me the Hollywood, He's like, nope, Lucifer's just hopping around some vessels before he gets to you. I was like, thank you for telling me. That's the inside story of that. So,
Thank you.
a Hollywood story that didn't go bad in the end, for me, at least. So, I don't mean to diss Rick. I think he's a very good actor and a musician, and he looks damn good for his age. He's got a rockin' body, right? I'm not going to lie. I'm not afraid to say it, right? But I disagreed with his interpretation. I thought, and this isn't ego talking, I just think it's about character consistency, and I think what Misha did was really cool. Well, it was cool, and I think it was smart, because he was trying to bring character consistency to his interpretation, and he wanted a flavor of me in what he did, because that's just what you should do. If somebody's originated a part, you should carry a flavor of them over into it, because the personality is the same that's popping in between vessels. So anyway, I apologize for nailing Rick. I mean it, but I don't. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Rick. I don't mean to be judgy, but I am. Why hide it?
Hi, you.
What's up, man?
Not much. How you doing?
Good.
So far, so good?
Yeah.
Awesome.
But it's early.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
early yet, so
Yeah.
some time. We'll see. So I'm a big old book nerd,
Yeah.
right? And there's obviously a lot of literary references in Supernatural. You've got Paradise Lost, Dante's Inferno, the Bible, right?
Really?
Yeah, I know. It's weird. But I was wondering.
I just never knew it, so you're teaching me something.
Are there any places that you've drawn from to play such a compelling Lucifer, or are there any other representations of Lucifer that you find especially compelling?
Oh, wow. I think there's so many Lucifers out there that are, I think, really, really good. Do you have a favorite cinematic Lucifer?
I go back to Paradise Lost.
What's that?
I go back to Paradise Lost.
No,
The sort of
cinematic.
sympathetic Lucifer.
Cinematic.
Cinematic Lucifer. Oh,
Yes.
golly. Al Pacino?
Did you think Al Pacino was sympathetic?
What's that?
Was he?
No. No, not really. But,
In
he's
Devil's
Al Pacino.
Advocate?
So,
What about Viggo Mortensen?
Viggo Mortensen, love him.
Yeah,
Super, super charming, good-looking guy. So,
right. But did you like his Lucifer?
yes. Yes, I did.
Did you really? You sounded like you were like, never saw the movie, but... Because you went, yes.
You're absolutely right. You said Viggo Mortensen. And I said, I like that guy. Sure.
Let's be honest with each other, man.
He was really good as Aragorn. I liked that.
He was.
I'm just going to assume it was a lateral movement over to Lucifer. Right?
Don't assume that. He is good, though. He's just a plain good actor. Who else has played Lucifer out there? That cat from who played one of the nihilists in The Big Lebowski. He was Lucifer in Constantine. Yeah. What's his name? I keep forgetting his name. You guys know his name?
It is.
He was good. He was really weird and quirky and cool. Who else has played Lucifer?
The TV show Lucifer that's out now, which is pretty rad. Tom, what? What's the guy's name?
Who?
Well, his name is Tom.
Is it
We've
good?
gotten that far. All right.
I want different. I want to see that show, by the way. There's just so much television now. I feel saturated. I can't even get to Lucifer yet till I get to 50 other shows in my queue. But as far as literary inspirations, no literary inspirations.
Okay. Cinematic inspirations?
No.
No? You just, all right, doing your thing. I
Right
can
on.
dig it. I can dig it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What's up?
Not a lot. How are you?
I think I'm all right.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So you mentioned character continuity earlier, and my question kind of plays off of that.
Right.
Lucifer has been inside both Sam
Don't say
and
it like
Castiel.
that. I heard it start over there.
Oh, I haven't even gotten to the good part better.
What's that?
Who did you better, Misha or Jared?
I can't choose. I liked being inside both of them. I'm going to get so much crap for that later on. I know it. But you started it.
I'm okay with that.
You're
I'll
all
take
right
the
with
blame.
it?
Yeah.
Okay. You're not going to get the avalanche of Twitter feed that I'm going to get for saying something like that.
That's true.
Do you forgive me, everybody in this room? Okay. We're good. Was that it? I answered your question.
No, that was it.
That was it?
Good. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Thank you.
Any new ships out there? Are there any new ships? What? That's not a new ship. Is that a new ship? Right? There's Cassifer and there's Samifer, right? That's old news. Rowena what? Oh, come on. I can't unsee that now.
Hey.
What's up?
I don't really know how to follow that up. I feel like I should just go.
I understand completely.
I don't know if you remember from Denver, but there was a cool girl there doing Mad Libs. And
Oh, yes, I do remember.
I had a feeling you might. But Rich suggested that
Because
we
she
should
had
do
me
it.
do an adverb.
Yeah, I'm not going to make you do an adverb.
Thank you.
But Rich suggested that we should do it at every con, so hey.
Why did he do that?
You can ask him. I don't know. Not in his brain.
You know, it's early in the morning right now. I'm very nervous.
I will.
Yeah, okay, so if I don't do the Mad Lib, somebody else can do it. Go ahead.
It's not adverb, I promise.
Thank God.
Could
Dad.
you do noun and regular verb?
What's that?
Noun and verb. Regular verb. Not adverb.
No, I don't even know what those are. No, it is not. It's a myth. This is the postmodernist age. Don't you know that's a social construct? There is no such thing as noun and verb anymore. That's nonsense.
I mean, you're Lucifer, so they are what you want them to be.
Right? Speaker bottle. That's my thing. Speaker bottle.
Okay.
Noun verb.
Speaker. I don't know. Speaker and what?
Bottle.
Bottle?
Yes, noun verb.
Those are two nouns, though.
No, it's not.
Okay.
In your world, maybe it is.
Okay.
In my world, it's a noun and a verb.
You're right. That's true. That's very true. Okay, we brought it back around. We're good. Yeah, we got it.
Okay?
Thank you.
I actually heard a debate with a postmodernist last week, and it was maddening. Maddening. The question posed to him was something like, he feels that when you're getting on an airplane to fly somewhere, you agree with that construct that the airplane will fly to the destination. And because you agree with that, it happens. Reality is just a construct. It's something we all agree on, and sometimes we don't. But that doesn't mean the agreement is because of differences in opinion or conclusions about reality. Reality itself is different for each person. Yeah, right? Lost epistemology now rules the world. What's up?
Sup, Satan? So I'm gonna ask this question. Warning, it's probably not gonna come out right because I have anxiety, but let's go. Okay, so I don't know how superstitious you are, how much you believe in stuff like this, but is there anything you've ever read about your zodiac that's like the most true about you?
I am sort of superstitious, by the way. And I do often check my zodiac. Isn't that weird? It's one of those weird paradoxes, character paradoxes. I mean, my sign is Aries. Really? Are those the Aries in the audiences? And I feel like I have some things in common. Like there's a certain assertiveness to me. And what's so funny? Is my fly down? But I feel like I have more in common with my, get that please, with my moon. I think my moon is Cancer. And so I feel like I'm more that. A little more water signish than sun.
Nice to know that you're superstitious. I'm not alone.
Right? It's not healthy though. I have it, but I am trying to beat it. You know what I mean? It's sort of totemism. It gives me a little bit of reassurance, like I have control over things I don't have control over in reality. I'm sorry to make you even more anxious by that statement probably, but I definitely feel like I should have more effective ways of coping than my superstition. What other but I have them. I can't deny it. I mean, when a black cat crosses my path, I'm like, what the fuck? I don't walk under ladders. I mean, it's silly like that. Is yours that intense, like mine?
I'm a witch. witch, so I'm kind of superstitious in ways. So
Right.
it's complicated.
Are you like a Rowena type witch?
I'm a Wiccan, so.
Oh, okay. That's a good witch,
Yes.
right?
Nature and stuff.
Yeah, nature and stuff. That's awesome. Magic. What's up?
Oh, hi.
Hey.
Oh, geez, it's my turn.
It happens fast, doesn't it?
Right? So I'd like to go a little deep, if you don't mind. Don't forget your safe word.
What's the safe word, just so I know?
Kumquat.
Huh?
Kumquat.
Kumquat?
Yes. So I was
That's
wondering.
such a weird name. I would not want to be a kumquat. Go ahead.
So I was wondering if being actual Satan on a show has influenced your spirituality in any way, as like your view of what is all after the afterlife or any of that. Could you speak to that just a smidgy bit?
Sure.
Thanks.
I've become more of an atheist. Odd, right? That feels odd. But I don't know that that's Supernatural's fault.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just my philosophical evolution. Mm-hmm. Not to say that somebody who isn't an atheist isn't philosophically evolved, but I definitely have fallen out of any connection with the whole concept of God. There was a time I felt sort of connected to it. When I actually was a practicing Christian for a while and read the Bible a number of times and went to church like 3 times a week. For like a couple of years, I really experimented with that. And Nichiren Shoshu Buddhism and Zen Buddhism and as I was trying to find my path. And only in the last 4 or 5 years, I think I settled into, yeah, it's just us.
I feel that.
Do you?
Yeah.
I mean, is that a disconcerting thought to you?
I think it's both intimidating and relieving. Like, on the one hand, there's not some, on the one hand, oh, I'm alone, that's kind of scary. But then it's also just like, hey, nothing matters. I can do what I want.
Well, I don't know that nothing matters. I'm not the Dennis Prager, either God exists or there's no morality or value
Oh, no, not
to
that
life.
far with it.
Right, and to me it's even a little more freaky to think there's this being, celestial being, who's completely unpredictable and sometimes malignant, who has a will to direct my life, and I have no real say over it, and my values don't matter in the direction that I want. All that stuff sort of freaks me out more. I'd sort of rather be alone than
It's more
governed by some
empowering that
authoritarian, unpredictable, unknowable being who has some plan that I might be a piece of, but not really a fundamental piece of. So I prefer the aloneness, actually, than that. But I think that compels us to think of values and morality in a slightly different way, not as things that are bestowed upon us from above, but that come from life and our natures as human beings and our need to thrive. And to me, that's what the source of morality is, and I think that's a far more rewarding origin than some celestial thing. You think?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. That is actually you just kind of blew my mind a little bit.
What's
Good
that?
job. You blew my mind just a little bit.
I did?
Good job.
Thanks.
Just a bit.
Hang in there. This is it. Nothing else. Make it the best you can, because you're not going to get a second chance. Is that good? Is that inspiring? It's not daunting? Are you doing the most with your life that you can? I have some internal obstacles. I don't know about you, but I'm sorting them out. working my way through it, right? Are you? That's the way. That is the way. Hey.
Hi, sorry, I'm really nervous. So all of your last answers have been really deep, which is, it sucks that my question isn't as good as the last. I drove 14 hours to see you particularly.
Oh, wow.
And
Thank you.
I wanted to know what, I'm sorry. I wanted to know what your favorite pickup line was.
Hi.
I mean, that works.
Well, I mean, right? It's the perfect icebreaker. I've never had a pickup line. And maybe that's been my flaw. I also don't need a pickup line. But before I didn't need a pickup line, I never had a pickup line.
Oh.
I know some friends who have, and they're very slick. I don't know theirs. I never inquired, but they did fascinate me because they were prolific. They picked up a lot of women, but they never had any substantive relationships. And I think they're very unhappy people. I hate to say it, but I think people with pickup lines are unhappy people. Is that way overgeneralized?
That turned deep.
Right? I mean, because I feel like you're trying to sell yourself. You know, you're trying to be cool. You're trying to be something you're not. You know, you're trying to make that cool first impression on somebody. And I think just being simple and honest in who you are is the coolest thing that you could possibly be. That was a good question. Why did you think that was a bad question?
What?
Why did you think that was a bad question?
Because all the last one's been super deep, and that one's just...
That's very deep.
Well, you made the answer deep because you're just that talented.
All right, come here. I got to give you a hug. Thank you. It was a good question. Thank you. Wow. Wow. We're tapping into it this morning. Or is it just me? We are, right? Good. What's up?
Hey.
Hey.
Side comment real quick.
Yeah?
A funny pickup line for you that I think would be funny is, hey, I play Lucifer. Can I be inside you? I'm sorry. I know you're married. I'm sorry.
I will be sure to ask my wife that when I see her next time.
Okay, but my question
How crazy would that be if she says, nope. Not today, Satan.
So my question is, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So my question is, so spoiler alert if you're not caught up, Lucifer.
I'm not caught up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but go ahead.
There's a really funny fight scene in the last episode you should watch.
And I'm not in it?
So we know that just because you were killed off on Supernatural doesn't mean you might not actually come back. So you may come back, you may not. But is there any projects in your near future that we could be looking forward to?
Yes.
What is it?
Can't tell you.
But
No, I really can't tell you. I'm not fucking with you. I can't tell you.
But we will be seeing you on the screen soon?
Yes.
Yay.
You know, they make you sign these things now called NDAs. Those are real. I heard a Trump joke. Trumps aren't.
Hey, Mark. Welcome to Charlotte.
Thank you.
If given the opportunity in the future to work with Rob Zombie in creating a film called Lucifer's Funhouse, would you take it, and what would be in your funhouse?
I hear imaginations clicking right here.
You should hear my imagination.
Are you a
going.
Rob Zombie fan?
Yes.
You are?
Yes.
Which movies of his do you like?
Halloween. There's a couple Halloweens.
Halloween was too violent. Wasn't that? I'm sorry, that guy was violent.
House of a Thousand Corpses.
House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah.
You know, I've never seen House of a Thousand Corpses.
Ooh.
Is it good? Is that the one? Is there a clown in it? Freaky clown? I'm still Devil's Rejects. Is that the one with the clown? No. Yeah, clowns are wrong. I thought it was wrong. That's not just a Sam thing. That's a me thing, too. I'm not, I mean, I would do it, I guess, for you. I'd do it for you. And what wouldn't there be in Lucifer's Funhouse? That's what I have to say. What wouldn't there be?
Oh.
No, clowns would be there. You kidding me? The place would be populated with clowns. What wouldn't be there?
What would not?
Yes.
What wouldn't be in there?
What would not be in Lucifer's Funhouse?
A church.
Are you kidding me? The church would be in Lucifer's Funhouse.
Okay.
What? Everyone's like, what?
I'd
This is
rather
the
tell
back.
you.
What?
I'd rather give you some ideas what would be in it.
You just named some stuff that would be in it. See
What
how
would
I
be
got
in
out of that? What?
What would be in it?
Yeah, I already told you. Clowns.
Clowns? No.
Yeah, dolls, puppets, ventriloquist dummies, spiders.
Torture dungeon.
A torture dungeon?
Torture dungeon, yes.
I thought we already said church. No, a torture dungeon would not be in there. It's like, I don't know what to say. What's
Hi,
up?
Mark.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Hey, we are birth date twins.
We-
We have the same birthday.
Really?
And year.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, what do you remember of the 80s? I'm a little worried because your memory seems issue-y.
Yeah, it happens.
Got any good memories of those 80s?
Good memories?
Yeah. Narrows it down a little. maybe.
Yeah, a lot. No, I mean, I liked the 80s because I was when I was in high school, and for me, high school was kind of fun. I went to a Catholic high school, and since I was sort of the poor boy, poor boy in the school, you know, I had to work to pay for my own books, and I really felt invested in that place because I had no real roots, no family roots, and this place was old. It had been there for a long time, and they made it like a family. The whole institution was very familial. So I really worked hard to be a part of that, and I felt a sense of belonging for the first time, really in my life, to something sort of bigger than myself, and it was fun. It felt good, you know, those years. Plus, you're young. You have no symptoms. There's like of anything physical, and you know, you don't feel the window of life closing on you. This is getting dark. Sorry.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
But once you get into your 50s, you start to see things that you didn't see before.
is closing. You're right.
You feel it.
Thanks
you feel
a lot.
It, right? I'm sorry. Have a good day.
Thank you so much.
Hold on. Let's
You came in at the wrong moment.
let's take one more question. Let's cleanse the palate.
Oh, okay.
Let's do one more.
Okay. What's up?
Hi.
Hey.
I'm really nervous. So I'm a
Same.
huge fan of Supernatural, and I'm also a huge fan of Dexter, who, by the way, is from North Carolina. And so how did you, the great Lucifer, manage to be beaten by Dexter Morgan? And did you enjoy that episode?
Well, I managed to be beaten by Dexter because the writers wrote that. And I did not like that episode because I thought I was going to be sort of a foil for him. But I think they felt Paul was too stupid to be a foil to Dexter, so they took me out, you know, without any ceremony. And I thought I did something wrong. You know, when you die on a show, you're like, did I do something wrong? Because I thought we had a good relationship. But they actually kept me longer than they were planning on it. So, no, I didn't like Paul's death. I thought Paul should have gone on a little further. I thought he should have disrupted Dexter's life a little bit more. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
I just don't think they thought he was the stature. He didn't have the heroic stature. It was his hair. It's always my hair.
It always comes down to the hair. Boy, if I said it once, I've said it 100 times. Mark's hair. Mark, have you had a good time here in North Carolina?
So far, so good.
All right, I like it. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in saying, we don't say goodbye, we don't say adios, we don't say see you later, we simply say 3 words. All hail Satan!
Running with the devil! Dexter and the devil!
Good stuff, Bubba.
Real good stuff.
Nailed it. Robbie.
Richard.
Sometimes you do 1 guest.
Sometimes you do 18.
That's not true. We've never done 18. We just had we have so much power backstage. We decided, why divide it up? We can harness it and create what we call a super panel. Am I wrong?
Let's have a super panel. Let's do it.
It's a mega panel.
A mega panel.
We put them all together, harness that energy.